Welcome to the New York Central Historical Society Layout Tours. My name is Ed Enyedy, and come join me of a tour of my layout set in 1933.
My HO scale layout occupies a 18-foot by 11-foot room in my basement. There's two levels, a top level at 57 inches and features locations around Cleveland, and the lower level elevations at 24 inches and is set in the Hudson River Valley. A 7-turn double-tracked helix connects the two levels. The basic tracks plan really is just a dog bone shaped loop with industries positioned only at the top layer where they're more easily accessible. The primary focus of the layout is creating visual drama. At this time I only got about 40% of the layout complete. It wasn't until later that I settled on a date of 1933, and it's been a slow process converting the various items to this time frame. 1933 was chosen because it's the year my mom was born, and my favorite locomotives, Hudsons and Mohawks, ruled the rails. Let's follow a coal train as it traverses the layout. Our journey begins in the yards of Collin Wood. It's obviously not practical to model all of Collin Wood, so a few select structures represent the shops. The large building represents the powerhouse. For 2 summers I worked at GE's Neela Park up the hill from Collinwood. I admired the main office adjacent to East 152nd Street as I passed by daily. This is a scratch-built model with 3D printed doors, windows, and roof. QD Tower, or Signal Station in New York Central terms, controlled the west end of Collinwood and is still standing at the time of this video. My model is a scratch-built creation. The Collin Wood roundhouse was served by a 120-foot turntable featuring control booths at either end. I modified a commercial turntable to better represent the actual unit. I've yet to build the roundhouse itself. Our train now passes the north side of the powerhouse. The upper half round window frames were 3D printed to match the sunburst pattern of the real windows. This building was the first kit offered by CMR and is of the American Brewery in Baltimore. I fell in love with the architecture and just had to include it on the layout. It now serves as Suze's Nuts and Fine Foods, receiving multiple carloads of walnuts, almonds, and hickory nuts daily. My wife Suze rescues and rehabilitates squirrels. The passing freight train has train cars that used to belong to my dad, and the Diamond Shamrock tank car gives honor to his work at the Paynesville plant. The last two cars of the train are from my very first train set, a Tyco Chattanooga choo-choo. A switcher works the siding at the old Lincoln Electric plant off of Coit Road. This structure is a work in process, with printed brickwork on a cardstock frame instead of the plastic molded or sheet material I've used for other buildings. I've worked at the Euclid Lincoln plant for 31 years, and always liked to watch the trains as they pass on by. When I was a kid, my older brother called his group of stuffed animals the Big Bears. Not to be outdone, I called mine the Large Bears. Hence, Large Bear Enterprises finds its home in a large brown brick building, while Big Bear Research struggles to make ends meet in a small neglected white house. Our coal train now descends a spiral, traveling across several divisions to get to the Hudson Valley. The grade in the spiral works out to be about 2.5%. While waiting for our coal train to appear, we spot a passenger train speeding on by. When my mom was young, she and her family used to ride the New York Central to Schenectady to visit relatives. She also rode the New York Central when she went to college in Cincinnati. SM Signal Station was built from a kit offered by the New York Central System Historical Society. I modified it to reflect the actual building, of which the lower portion still stands. I positioned my model on the south side of the tracks to show off the windows. In reality, the building resides on the north side of the tracks. The passenger train now begins the long crossing of the Hudson River on the Alfred H. Smith Memorial Bridge. I've been working on the bridge off and on for 10 years, all of which is scratch built. Overall, the bridge length model is 11 feet, and were I to model it to scale, the length would be approximately 50 feet. Looks like a mixed freight has gotten in front of our coal train. We'll follow it for a little while as it goes through the Hudson Valley. One visitor remarked this mansion reminded him of Bannerman's Arsenal. This was the first I'd heard of Bannerman's Arsenal, and since learning more about it, I have it on my list of places to go visit. We find our coal train again at a passing meet on the bridge. The Alfred H. Smith Bridge opened in 1924. Today it serves as a key route for CSX. The photo shows the bridge looking from the south, whereas my layout views the bridge from the north. With the popularity of drones these days, I just had to try to get some drone footage myself. Sharp eyes may have spotted the 5th hopper cart lettered for the Crown Railway. The Crown Railway was a fictitious railroad I was modeling before I switched to modeling the New York Central. Our train now heads eastbound back across the bridge. I have an ambitious plan of building an operating Hewlett ship unloader and using it to load coal into the cars on the upper level, and then building a working McMiler dumper and placing it on the lower level so the coal trains can usefully transport material from one location to another. Our train has returned to Cleveland. Along the wall, I plan to construct a series of building flats, including the Lakeshore and Michigan Southern Railway office that used to stand in downtown Cleveland. I'm also planning for a Gothic church in this area. We arrive at our last spot, the Paynesville Depot, now serving as the Paynesville Railroad Museum. This version of the station, built in the Richardson Romanesque style, opened in 1893 and was considered the jewel of Paynesville. The last passenger train departed in May 1971, and it then served as a Greyhound bus station until 1988. A dedicated group of volunteers have rescued the building, restored it, and it now hosts various activities at the depot. The Lincoln funeral train was displayed here in June 2015. Shown here are 3D printed walls and roof loosely assembled, and I am attempting to make molds of the parts to one day offer it as a kit. This photo from 1915 shows the depot shortly after the Lakeshore and Michigan Southern became part of the New York Central. Special thanks goes to the New York Central Historical Society for the friendship and knowledge so freely offered. As the layout construction continues, I'm looking forward to my involvement and happy to be a part of it. Check out this channel for other videos and visit the New York Central Historical Society website to learn more.